What is going on, everybody? I'm Steve. This is Vanderbond's Wildlife, and I figured I'd make a video and kind of show you what I do through the course of the day. Obviously, I do a lot of editing, but you know, sometimes you have to do processing as well. So over here, I am watching ESPN to keep up on my NFL games and know who's doing what. So I'm editing there. My wife has her office in the other room over there. The kids are at school, and I got a bunch of running around to do. I got my Minn Kota trolling motor is actually at the repair shop, getting some things taken care of with that. I don't know if I ever showed you guys. My wife went to Michigan, and I'm not allowed to hang any of this stuff, she said. In Michigan, we had a wall full of deer and fish, and she's like, that doesn't work down here in Florida. So she got on a plane, flew to Michigan, and I figured, what the heck? I've got like 10 more of those in the garage, but she came home and I was like, well, what do you think? And I got the, had to wait till I left to do it, didn't you? Yup. She hasn't told me to take it down yet, so. I shot that buck a few years back on state land. Hard to believe, but we're growing big in Michigan. How cool is this? This flag is actually from my father's grave. My father was in the Army and was over in Korea during the Korean War. This guy here and that other house up there were made by my grandfather, Grandpa Marty, who served in Hawaii when Pearl Harbor went down. There's a northern pike that I caught through the ice fishing. And then that crappie comes from a small lake in northern Michigan that my brother-in-law caught. My brother-in-law, Jason, who just retired from the Marines. Thank you for your service, brother. You're the best. As well did my other brother-in-law, Andrew. Someday I'm gonna make a video about them two badasses. And I can say that because they're Marines. Anyway. So, what I'm doing here is I'm breaking these front shoulders down. My buddy actually shot a pig. And that's ironic because I just literally got back from a pig hunt. But one of my other buddies shot a pig and he's like, I don't want the front shoulders, you want them? I was like, yeah, I can grind that up because I'm gonna make sausage. So how about we make this a wild hog sausage video? There we go. I have deboned this sucker. There's really, you know, that's why my buddy was like, if you want them, I'm not gonna mess with the front shoulders. I mean, a lot of people just burger the front shoulders off of their deer or whatever, but there is a couple of pieces of meat that I like to keep. For example, a lot of times I'll keep the shank meat, which basically looks like that, and I'll make stew out of that because each of those muscles is individually wrapped with its own liner or silver skin, and it's very tough if you were to just try to cook it. When I make stew with that, I basically sear it and then simmer it for a very long time. And when that silver skin breaks down, it's basically, it's like it's not even there. And it's got a lot of good flavor to it. But there's also, like on the top of the blade here, there is what's called the chuck tender. It's a nice piece of meat, and it's one of those muscles that they don't use that often. So that makes it more tender, kind of like the inner loins. You know, you've got your outer loins, the back straps, the inner loins. The inner loins don't get used very much, so those are your filet mignon, or one of the best cuts of meat.
Yep, that's where I was, and when I do the filter, it doesn't allow me to.
She hates it. Hates it when I go in there while she's working. I don't know, she takes that work stuff so seriously. Whatever. Can you say hi, Tom? Wanna go for a ride with Dad? Let's go. All right, buddy. Let's go get the trolling motor. We'll start with that. Okay? Okay. You're supposed to have your seatbelt on, dude. You know? You don't even have your sea legs, man.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto 771 Gasparilla Road.
I'm sick of this woman telling me what to do. Kind of like being at home. I'm just kidding, Jamie. I'm gonna leave this thing running, okay, with the air conditioning on. You down with that? You gonna hang? Yeah. Okay. So I've always been a hands-on guy. I've always done a lot of my own repairs. I've done a lot of repairs on my Minn Kota already myself. You know, I'm pretty good at troubleshooting and stuff like that. But the problem I had with the Minn Kota, it was still under warranty. I wasn't going to tear it apart again. It was something, I'm going to find out what exactly. I'm going to talk to the tech real quick, find out what exactly is going on, and then I will know what to do and what not to do in the future. We just talked with the mechanic. These guys have a bunch of moving parts and a bunch of problems that happen. I guess this whole unit right here is brand new. There's a little motor in here that grabs the belt and moves the shaft up and down, and then there's also a piece in here that talks to the main board here, and these things just go bad. And what he explained to me is they're like, those parts are $300, $400 around there, but they're packed with silicone, so you really can't take them apart, replace that part, and put it back together because they're completely sealed throughout. So you've got to have the whole thing replaced. If you don't do the maintenance, you're gonna have problems. And I have done good maintenance, keeping it clean and whatnot. And, you know, it's just like anything. It's eventually gonna fail on you. But this thing's brand new, as you guys know, so. Anyway, let's get this thing home. What are you barking about? Huh? What are you barking about? I'm right here. Are you okay? Are you okay? All right. All right. Let's go. I'm guessing it's over 5 pounds, but I had a meat or scale for when I do this kind of thing. But of course, in the move, things get lost or given away or whatever happened, but we'll make do. Basically need to cut things up so it'll fit into the grinder. I also took the heart. No sense in wasting it. It too is a muscle. Sometimes I take the liver, but I'll be honest, it's not my favorite thing, although I do eat it. Tell you guys, it's so nice when you're connected to your food. And I know that sounds weird, but to put it simply, I know where this animal came from, pretty much know what he's been eating, no hormone treatments, and it's fun and clean. Putting some of this pork belly meat in there. Again, these guys don't have any fat on them, so we're gonna add some pork fat. Helps with the flavor, helps her when you're cooking it, so it's got a little bit of grease in there to keep it from sticking to the bottom of the pan. But you can see pork belly. It's what they make bacon out of. So you get the different layers of fat in here. We're going to use some sage, thyme, rosemary, but we'll use some ground thyme and some ground sage, black pepper, crushed red peppers, smoked paprika, some rosemary, nutmeg, kosher salt. And then I cut up a little sage, thyme, and rosemary, some fresh stuff. So this is pretty much the recipe I used, guys. I took out the fennel seeds because I didn't have any. So this is based on 1.5 pounds of ground meat. So we've got 1 tablespoon of fresh sage, 1 teaspoon chopped thyme leaves, skip the fennel, 1/2 teaspoon crushed red pepper, 1/8 teaspoon ground nutmeg, kosher salt, black pepper to taste. We're not going to do the bacon because we've got our fat in there. Maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of canola oil. I don't have canola, so I'm going to use the extra virgin. But I also added smoked paprika, and then I like a little bit of rosemary. Basically what I've got here is I'm figuring between 5 and 6 pounds. So you can just do the math. Oh, this sucker was not cutting good, so there's the blade. This is a sharpener I used to use for some of my hunting knives and my broadheads and things like that. Okay, so the blade goes in here, locks into place. This is your cutting surface. I've got the smaller holes, which makes it a little bit more fine, your burger. Much better. And now for our fresh leaves. Again, rosemary, thyme, sage, and we got a little of that in the dry form too. Just knead it together really well. So now that I've got the seasonings mixed in there, I am going to add some things here before I do my second grind. I'm going to do a little bit of kosher salt. Some fresh ground pepper. Just going to do a little dash of olive oil. Doesn't take much. And then we're going to add a little bit of maple syrup. Not a ton, guys. We don't want to overpower it. We're going to mix this all in now. I don't see as much red pepper as I'd like to see. There we go. Now, you can pretty much get away with letting this sit for like 1 hour, but you can also go as long as overnight. So I'm gonna do the overnight thing and let them seasonings just go to town in there. See you in the morning. I gotta bring you to school, don't I? You're gonna miss a good breakfast. You get breakfast at school? Sweet. All right.
Go with like 20 minutes.
Nice. I gotta show you guys this. Look at how smart this dog is. Sit. Pretty impressive. Stay. I mean, come on. That's good. Now watch this. You want a treat? Yeah? Can you catch it? Huh. Looks like one of the players for the Red Sox. Nice catch. I'm gonna cut up some bok choy. Love this stuff. Bok choy's got, you know, calcium, phosphorus, iron, magnesium, vitamin K. It's good for your bones. It's good for your eyes. Most people think carrots. Yeah, well, this stuff is pretty amazing too. And it's not an overwhelming taste by any means, so you can pretty much put it in anything. Soups, all sorts of good stuff. There's vitamin E, there's all sorts of, and the greens, that's where you get a lot of your good nutrition from. The most important part, a ton of garlic. Good for the heart. Alright, turn my heat down a little bit. I'm just going to put the lid on there and let them guys pretty much just steam in their own juices. Now when I'm making any kind of meat patties, I really like to work it together but not squeeze it too tight. You don't want it to fall apart. You want the juices to be able to work their way through it. And a lot of times I'll gently work the middle down so it's a little more thin in the middle so you don't end up with a big old golf ball looking thing. That's what we're looking for right there. You just kind of want to pat them. I guess that's how they got the name patties. But I could be wrong. Maybe some chick Patty or a guy named Patty has got the patent on patties. No? It's early, what can I say? You hungry yet, baby? I'm making you an omelet.
I am hungry.
Hey.
Good.
Throw some Colby Jack on here. So now I'll take this half and keep that over the heat. I like to slide that half off the heat. Cook the backside just a little bit less, otherwise it's going to end up being brown. A little bit of sea salt. A little bit of smoked paprika. Okay, let's flip this sucker. I haven't even tried this stuff yet. First bite. Very good. It's mild. Ooh, there's some heat though. Choice on the extra red peppers. All right, give it a whirl, Mom. See what you think. I should have put some sausage. I was thinking about putting the sausage in the omelet as well, but just give it a second. The seasonings creep up on you a little bit, but
They do creep up.
it's not overwhelming.
No, it's good. Got a little bit of a kick, but it takes a second.
Yeah, but you know, it's mild. If I had to do two things different, I would add a little bit more fat and maybe cook it for a little less time. How do you like
I
it?
feel like I live in a restaurant.
How do you like that smoked paprika? There's some
Is that what it is?
Yeah, there's
Good.
some of that in there too. Can I have a bite? Yeah, that's nice. Oh, it's very good.
I agree.
Thanks, baby.
Thank you.
Oh, welcome. All right, guys, look at all this I got left. This pack I might take to hunting camp next time and take it for all the guys. Boom. Now I like to flatten it out so I can stack it in the freezer. That's what we got. That is it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed spending the day with me, guys. And wish I could send you all some sausage. It's fantastic. Anyhow, can't wait to cook this for some of our friends. And hey, I guess we're gonna see you guys in the next one. We are out.